Hi guys, welcome to Stacking the Shelves for the weekend of April 27th. I got 5 books this week and I will go through them here pretty quickly. The first one was a book that I got through the Kindle Unlimited program, so I am signed up for that. And so far it's been worth it. I've read about $18 worth of Kindle books this month and they were all free with the $9.99 Kindle Unlimited subscription, so it did save me about $8 this month, and I'll keep tracking that just to see if it's still worth it. So this one I got through Kindle Unlimited, and that was Shoot the Messenger by Pippa da Costa. It's the first book in the Messenger Chronicles. This is actually a really beautiful cover, but my printer ran out of blue ink, so it's kind of monochrome here. But I actually read it already. It was a very fun read. I think I gave it 4 out of 5 stars. We'll be posting next week. Yeah, it was fun. It's like a science fiction paranormal thing. It is definitely adult. They say it's a reverse harem novel, meaning that the main lead character ends up with multiple men. I guess I hadn't heard that term before, but they say at the beginning of the book. And in this book, that doesn't really happen. I don't know. She's involved with multiple people, but she's not really with anybody. So I don't know exactly what that. I mean, I guess I've read books like that before. Like the Anita Blake series, I assume would be considered that very heavily, especially as you get later in the series. Anyways, so I got that to read. It was fun. I plan on continuing that series. It's like a 5-book series, I think. All right, the rest of these I got from the library, and since I am still home on short-term disability, it's been pretty easy to swing by the library. It's very close to our house, and my son he's been reading the Naruto manga series, and so I've been picking those up for him, so I just pick up some for me when I do it. So the first one I got from the library, I'm actually reading right now. You can see I'm right in the middle of it, and that is Playing with Fire. It's the second book in the Skullduggery Pleasant series by Derek Landy. This is like a middle grade, maybe up to young adult, dark fantasy series, I guess. Some people might say horror, but there's magic in it. It's kind of a darker series about a girl who gets involved with a dead man who's a skeleton who can do magic, and she's learning how to do magic, and they kind of fight the magic underworld. It's very, very funny and humorous and kind of a nice, fun, light read. I read the first one and I like them. I think they're fun. I don't think they're like amazing, but I enjoy them. So I'm going to read the second one and then see if I want to continue the series. So far, this has been good. I like a lot of the sorcery and magic and stuff in it. And I like the humor and the witty dialogue between everybody. So there are like 11 books in the series and it's still going, I think. So it's a very long series, but yeah, I got that one from the library. The next one I got from the library, I'm really excited to read. It'll probably be the one I'm reading next. And that is All Systems Red by Martha Wells. This is the first novella in the Murderbot Diaries. Right now, this is a series of 4 novellas. It sounds like the 5th one is going to be coming out next year and will be a full-length novel. I've heard a lot of really great things about this, and I was really excited to see my library had it. So, again, science fiction. It's supposed to be kind of funny, I believe. So yeah. Another one, this one is one I'm also very excited about to read, and that is the second, hold on, I'm forgetting what this series is called. I don't know, Conspiracy of Stars by Olivia A. Cole. This is the second book in that series, An Anatomy of Beasts. I really like that first book a lot. This is the Falov series, I think. I think that's what it's called. But anyways, I really loved A Conspiracy of Stars. It was very unique. It's all about these people settling on a new planet and learning about the creatures there. It was just kind of cool. I'm always into like animals and zoology and stuff, and this was like alien zoology, among other things. But I really, really liked the first one, and I'm excited to read An Anatomy of Beasts and see what happens in that book. And that is a young adult, like science fiction book. And the last one you guys will probably laugh because I haven't read it yet, and it's been out for a really long time. And I am a big Marissa Meyer fan, but I have not read Renegades yet, and it's one that I keep Like, I think I borrowed it from a Cloud Library once as an ebook, and then I didn't read it because I ran out of time. And then when we were in DC and we went to visit the Library of Congress, we went back to the kids' room and my son was reading graphic novels, and I started reading it there, but didn't get very far because we were only there for like an hour. So anyways, I finally got Renegades, and I really do plan on reading it this time. It's good timing because I think the third and final book in the series comes out in November. I know Arch Enemies is the second one, and I think I can't remember what the third one is. Supernova, I think, is the third one. Anyways, so yeah, I've been wanting to read this a long time. I read the first couple chapters when we were in Washington, D.C. at the Library of Congress, which I know is kind of random, and I really liked them. I just never picked it back up. So anyways, this is the last book I got. So that's 5 books for this week's. 2 from the library, another 2 from the library, and then 1 I got through Kindle Unlimited. So I have pretty much been hand to mouth on books. There are 2 books on my to-be-read list that I have not read, in addition to some review books that I'm not going to read quite yet. But the 2 ones on my list that I haven't read are Assassin's Fate, which I believe is the 3rd and final book in that trilogy by Robin Hobb. I haven't read it because it's like 1,200 pages long, and it was so long in between her publishing books that I just don't even know what happened in the last book at all. And they're very complex epic fantasies, and I know I should read it, but I know it's going to take me and I know I read fast, right? I read 4 or 5 books a week. It's going to take me a week or 2 to read that book, and I know it's going to be kind of boring and kind of slow, and it's just not something I want to do right now, and I'm not sure. I don't know. As I used to love reading these long epic fantasies because I couldn't afford to get very many books and I couldn't get to the library very easy. So if I got a really big book, it was only 1 book and I could read it forever. And that leads me to the second book that's on my to-be-read list that I have not read, and that's Words of Radiance, I believe it is. The first book in the Stormlight Archives by Brandon Sanderson. Again, another huge, like, I think it's 900-page book that I want to read. I actually bought it for Kindle. I got a copy to review from the publisher years ago, so sorry, Tor, I never reviewed it. But I ended up buying it for Kindle because the book is it's so massive that it's hard to even hold. So those are kind of the 2 that are on my to-be-read pile that I still haven't read, and I've been debating back and forth if I want to read them now. I'm very leery about reading Words of Radiance because it's supposed to be this huge epic fantasy series, and I've had Robert Jordan, people die on me in the middle of an epic fantasy series. So I don't know. I kind of want to be finished before I start reading it. The other things I have to read right now are ones I went through last week, and they're review books. The first of those doesn't release until September, so the review books I have, I think, release September, October, and November. I generally don't like to read and review books until the month before they release because some publishers get a little bit upset if you release a review on a book too early. So that's kind of my policy on that, so I probably won't be reading any of those until later. That being said, I'll do a quick little weather update. We are still having kind of a tumultuous spring here in Minnesota. We've had some very nice days this week. It was in the 70s a couple days, and now today it's supposed to be in the 50s. And then they're talking about Friday going into Saturday, we might get some snow again. My guess is it will only stick to the grass and not the roads. They're talking about a couple inches, and it's pretty borderline on temperature, but a little bit depressing, we want to be done with snow. I mean, seriously, it's going to be May soon, and we're still getting some snow. It's been very weird. Anyways, so that's, it is what it is. My family's doing well. My son has been, he doesn't have long left of school. I mean, really, they have just a little over a month left of school. They've been going through all their MCA testing, which I believe is something comprehensive assessment. Anyways, it's part of their standardized testing. He's very well on his English part of it and just finished up the math part of it next week. So we're excited to see how he does, because this is how they base all of his course placement for next year. And he really wants to, he's in advanced math now, and he really wants to get into advanced science. So he's hoping he can do really well on the math one, because they base his science placement on math and reading assessments combined. Anyways, too much information probably. As for how I am doing, I have been doing more in-depth posts about my recovery from surgery, but have not been posting them quite yet. I've been working with some video editing equipment, trying to like learn it and stuff, and maybe not working on it as much as I thought I would. It's amazing how busy you can be when you're not working all day. Like I'm just not a person who gets bored, and I'm always finding things to do. That being said, I have been struggling a little bit with recovery from my surgery the last few days, and I don't know if it's necessarily surgery related, because I got very sick on Easter, and not like surgery stuff I would expect. I pretty much had a whole body ache, pain, and then the last 2 days I've been having a lot of digestional issues and just achy. I don't have a fever, I don't think. I guess I haven't checked. But it hasn't been stuff that I would think was related to the surgery necessarily, besides like I've been generally sore in my abdomen. I am still having pain on this one side, which is still bruised. It is getting better, though. I notice it's better this week than it was last week. I can actually lay on this side now, whereas last week I couldn't. So it's getting better. It's just getting better very slowly. It was kind of a bummer. Like Monday, I was out of it. I slept all day. Tuesday, I felt a little bit better. And then yesterday, I was having like really severe back pain, and I don't have any idea why. And I had it until like 4 or 5 at night, and then it just went away. So I don't really know what's going on. I would have had my menstrual, like my period last week. So I don't know if it's a hormone thing I'm suffering through, or if it's a virus, because it kind of feels like a virus. As I said, I've been kind of stuffed up and stuff. So I don't know if it's I'm still kind of stuffed up today, but I don't know what's going on. But it was a little bit depressing, because I went through, like, I felt really good during the second week, and then like now I'm into the third, going into fourth week here, and I just felt really bad for like half the week. And I'm feeling better today, but I still feel just like a little bit shaky and not great. So I don't know if it's surgery related or not. No idea. I still have been having achiness in my pelvis, and some weird like urinary stuff. Like I'll be fine, and then all of a sudden I'll go through a day where I feel like I need to pee all the time, and then all of a sudden I'm fine again. So a lot of stuff changing. I haven't gone to the doctor for any of it because it's changing, right? And I feel like if it was like a real issue, I'd be having the same issue over and over and be getting worse. But I think things are just healing and moving around. And I think to make it all more complicated, I got kind of sick. So we'll see. I have another week. And then the week after next week, I go to my 6-week doctor's appointment. And that's when they'll actually check and see how everything's healing inside. And then I go to work the next day. So I don't have a lot longer off of work. And during my second week, I was like, oh, wow, I feel great. And this is going to be fine. And if I get this much better every day for the next 6 weeks, I'm going to feel great when I go to work. But this week has been quite a setback, and I have not been feeling well. And I don't think there's any way I could have got through a day of work, to be quite honest. So we'll see. Hopefully it improves and I just had a cold or something. If not, the biggest worry with this surgery is that cuff that they make to hold all your organs up in your body. If that tears, you can have like bladder prolapse or bowel prolapse or all these things, right? And so all the things I've been having going on, like, could be signs of that, but they're changing a lot. So I don't think they are. And it's all this, I'm kind of an anxious person anyway. So it's a lot of uncertainty for me. And I've been just trying to like read, play video games, just keep track of the symptoms, make sure they're not getting worse and they're changing. So I don't know what to say. So far it's been kind of a rough week, but hopefully next week we'll get better. Anyways, okay, I will talk to you guys next week. I thought I was only going to have one book to share this week, but then a whole bunch of the ones I had reserved at the library came in. So anyways, hope you guys have a great week of reading and that you got some great books, and I will talk to you next week. All right, bye.